What is placing everybody? Welcome back to Anime Talk, the hottest place for everything anime. I'm your fiery host, Blazeron, and today, returning to the dark side, we're talking anime villains. The masterminds, the monsters, and the characters so well written you can't help but almost root for them. So, some villains terrify us, some inspire us, and some may us question who really is the bad guy. Well, let's dive straight in. So, here's the thing. Not every villain is created equal. Some are just big bad bosses for our heroes to defeat. But the great ones? Oh, they stick with us. So, a great villain has presence. A goal that makes sense. Even if it's twisted to the point where we are questioning our own sanity. And a philosophy that changes the hero. And sometimes the scariest part is when you realize it, maybe they're not entirely wrong. So here are examples of a traits that makes a good anime villain. You have the sympathy factor with villains with tragic past like Pain in Naruto. So you have villains with tragic backstories that actually make sense, that actually makes you think, man, I can understand the actions that this person is taking. Like, I really get it. Terrifying power like Aizen in Bleach or Frieza in Dragon Ball Z. They need to have power that puts fear into the hearts of not just every person that they come across, but even the protagonists themselves. They need to have psychological depth, like Miriam in Hunter x Hunter. They need to have that mentality that just gets you really thinking and really appreciating that villain for who they are, even if their actions are very questionable. And finally, the most important thing, pure chaos. Like Ahsoka in Hunter x Hunter, even though not what I would go for. Or Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen. You need to have a villain that just may be a little crazy. Just a little bit. Even though there are some anime villains out there that are to the point where we're questioning everything that they hold to and dear. So here's just a list of some of the most iconic villains in anime history. The first anime villain that we have is Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Cold, ruthless, and one of the most iconic villains of all time. Frieza set the standard for shonen villains, pure evil with a little bit of swagger. So, Frieza is a tyrant of the galaxy, and the main reason why the Saiyan race are basically almost extinct. If not for Goku, Vegeta, and a few other Saiyans, the Saiyan race could have been completely extinct by Frieza. And, you know, we all know the allegations of Frieza being a quote-unquote racist by saying the M-word. If you know, then you know. I'm not gonna say it. You just look it up. It's been around for a long time. But Frieza is a very interesting villain because he not only is ruthless in everything he does, he just does it with a certain style, you know? And a perfect example of this style is when he fought Vegeta in the Frieza saga. Now, Frieza has multiple forms, and in his final form, he went up against Vegeta, who is talking about Saiyan pride and I'm the legendary Super Saiyan and all that. And what does Frieza do? Beats Vegeta in elegant fashion to the point where Vegeta is crying. I'm saying this right here and now. If you are an anime villain and you beat the protagonist to the point where they start crying and thinking about all their life choices, you've done a pretty good job as a villain. I'm just saying there. But yes, Frieza is possibly one of the most iconic villains in not just shonen anime, but in all the Dragon Ball history, and I think that says a lot. Next villain we have is Orochimaru from Naruto. Creepy, ambitious, and basically immortal. Orochimaru is the true nightmare fuel of Naruto's early arcs, and still one of the most unsettling anime villains ever. Now, Orochimaru, yes, very creepy and ambitious, snake-like personality, wants to see the full potential of Sasuke Uchiha, one of the main characters of Naruto. I think it's safe to say that he was definitely a creepy villain. But if he's able to get under the anime skin and our skin as well, I think he's done a pretty good job. Now, describing Orochimaru in a sense of creepy is an understatement, because he knows what he's doing, even though some of the actions that he does is a little bit questionable. Mostly all the actions towards Sasuke Uchiha. But he was a formidable asset in the coming arcs of Naruto Shippuden, the second phase of Naruto, by reviving all of the Kage in order to help with the Great Ninja War that was happening around that time of Naruto Shippuden. He was a good asset, and we still saw some irrelevance in Boruto: The Next Generations. As much slander as that anime gets, it seems like it's getting better from what I've been hearing around, the media, that it's getting better. But I have seen that Orochimaru is still a very interesting asset to the Naruto storyline. So, creepy and immortal and ambitious, definitely good words to describe Orochimaru, but he definitely is unsettling. But he's still a very iconic villain to this day. Next up, we got Aizen from Bleach, the master manipulator. He played everyone like a fiddle for hundreds of episodes. Calm, collected, and always 10 steps ahead. Now, I know a good amount to know what Aizen is. Now, I don't know a lot, but by playing the new Bleach game that's currently out on almost all platforms of gaming, I'm indulging myself in the story of Bleach because I have never watched Bleach yet. Yes, I know. All the pro anime watchers can slander me in the comments and like, "Oh, you have not watched Bleach yet? Why not?" Listen, I'm still trying to get through as much anime as possible, alright? There's still a whole bunch of anime that I still have yet to watch and still need to go back to watching. But the new Bleach game is really helping me immerse myself in the story of Bleach. And Aizen is definitely one of the smartest villains to ever grace anime grounds. And a good example of that is when Aizen and Ichigo first met. Now, I have never in my entire life have seen disrespect such as this. How in the world do you just stand nonchalant while the protagonist rushes at you, and at the pinnacle moment that they swing their weapon, you block it with a finger, but not only that, you stop their theme song? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And just the way that this character just moves, he's just so cold. Like, even his exit, he literally took off his glasses, slicked back the hair. I don't know how that worked with no hair products or anything, and just looks like an absolute Chad. How does it make sense? I don't know. But I definitely am sensing that Aizen is a very incredible, very smart, and very meticulous. Like, he knows his plan way before he even acts it out. So I definitely say Aizen is a very interesting villain, and I just can't wait to get to know him a little bit more. Next anime villain is Miriam from Hunter x Hunter. Another anime that I'm a little bit too familiar with, but not all the way. A villain who started as a merciless monster and grew into a complex character questioning morality, humanity, and survival. One of the most philosophical arcs in the anime. Now, from what I've seen from Miriam, yeah, he definitely seems like a merciless monster. And this is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is from Hunter x Hunter. This is during the Chimera Ant arc. But if you are able to take a merciless monster and have them sit down and play a chill game, just having a conversation about life, about humanity, and everything else, yeah, you're definitely doing something right. You're doing something right for a change. But I can't really say too much about Miriam since I don't really know the full extent. Because like I said, I'm trying to catch up on a lot of anime. I have a lot in my bucket list, but I definitely also can't wait to see and experience more of Miriam, because I just sense that he's a very, very cool and wicked villain. Next up, we got Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Over the top, charismatic, petty Dio. He's flamboyant, evil personified, and the reason JoJo memes never die. Now, if anyone doesn't know about JoJo Bizarre Adventure, it is a literal walking meme. A majority of some of the popular memes back then and still to this day come from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I could name a bunch of memes right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let you guys find out for yourself. And most of these memes come from Dio Brando. Now, this guy, if Reverse Flash was personified in an anime, it would be Dio Brando. This man pulled up to the Joestar's house, immediately seeking violence, and ever since that day made it his plan to hate Jonathan Joestar and possibly his entire bloodline for as long as possible. I mean, it gets crazy when you murk off Jonathan Joestar and take his body, lay in a coffin for 100 years, reemerge, and cause havoc to his descendants, his future bloodline. So yeah, that is definitely hate on another level. Actually, I don't even know if I should mention this, because I don't want to spoil anyone who doesn't know it, but screw it. You know John Wick? Yeah, the Baba Yaga, the same person who went through 4 movies, all because of his wife and a dead dog. Now imagine that in an anime. That's what Dio did. Dio probably watched the first John Wick movie and said, haha, I'm about to do that to Jonathan Joestar's dog. Literally put his dog in a box. The caretaker who was, carrying around that area took the box, threw it in the furnace, thinking it was just a regular thing to just burn and throw away, not knowing that the dog was in that box and burnt to a crisp. So, in all actuality, that's a crazy thing on itself. And I could literally get into everything that this man Dio has done, but I'm just gonna put you on real quick. If you go on YouTube and search up a cool YouTuber named CJ the Champ, he has a video explaining about Dio, aka the generational hater, and he explains all the things that Dio has done, like evil wise. And I don't think you're ready for the things that he has done. It's just crazy. So Dio, definitely over the top, flamboyant, just evil incarnate. And definitely a good pick for a respectable anime villain. So the last one that I just want, actually, let's do two more villains that I think is just an incredible pick for best villains of anime. Ryomen Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh boy, what should I even say about this character? The cursed king, the king of curses, as I should properly say. The only thing I could say about Sukuna is just he wants nothing but violence. He wants nothing but violence. Literally, when Itadori ate one of his fingers and we saw the first appearance of Sukuna, he just looked around and said, oh, it's been a while, but I feel like causing some havoc today. Like, he just doesn't care about anything but his own morals, his own ambitions. Basically, he just wants to have fun because he just can. He just feels like it. And there are some times where he's chill, like the moment where Itadori is face to face with Sukuna and they're talking. You can still see that Sukuna is still not rocking with Itadori. Like, he just simply doesn't care. Slicing him up, bullying him. But even a person like Sukuna can be somewhat reasonable in a way. Even though his reasons can be a little bit, how should I say this? A little bit unfair. A good example of what I mean is when he is fighting Jogo. God, it's kind of confusing. Jogo. I get them mixed up. But anyways, it's the moment in season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, by the way, going a tiny bit off topic. Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 is on its way next year in January. It's been a long time coming, but we're back, baby. Woohoo! But anyways, with that good news out of the way, it's the moment in season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen is when Sukuna is fighting Jogo. And, Jogo knows that he can't beat Sukuna. Even because it's the moment where Sukuna has enough fingers to basically be a very powerful being. I mean, he was already a powerful being firsthand in season 1, but in season 2, now he has a good majority of his fingers. He's very powerful. So it's the moment where Jogo's like, I know I can't beat Sukuna, but I'm at least gonna try. And Sukuna, being a little bit respectable, said, alright, let's say this. If you can land one hit on me, that will be more than enough. And then guess what ends up happening? Jogo meets his fate in the end. Because he knew. It's like one hit. Boy, I can't even get a single spark on your clothes. How do you expect me, a simple curse, to try to get a hit off you? That's literally like saying try to get a single hit off Gojo. And he has infinity. That man can't be touched. So, of course, in the end, Jogo loses in the end. But at least Sukuna respected him a bit. He had heart and everything. But there was this one moment during their fight where I just looked at the screen and I'm like, Sukuna, you are just one evil individual. And it's the moment where Jogo is about to drop a big meteor because Jogo's, curse ability kind of revolves like flames, volcanoes, basically like flame manipulation. And as Jogo has this big meteor up in the sky, a bunch of other Jujutsu sorcerers that was around was trying to escape. Tell me why Sukuna stands right in the middle of them and says, if any of you move a single muscle, a single inch, I will off you right here and now. While Jogo has a big gigantic meteor just hovering over them. Like, bro, why you gotta put us in this situation? We're trying to leave. We're trying to go. We're trying to get out of here. And of course, it's when Sukuna says, only I say when you guys can move. And that could have been for a very long time, okay? Sukuna could have played with his food and just played with them for a very long time to the moment that Jogo was about to drop that meteor. He could have dropped the meteor on all of them if Sukuna wasn't just playing around. But yeah, there are a lot of other ways that I can describe Sukuna's evil, unfair, just straight up tomfoolery. Like, I could go on and on, but Sukuna is definitely one of those villains where they're just nonchalant and they just don't care. They just do it for the love of the game, and that's why I think, if you guys agree, that's probably one of a proud pick for greatest anime villains. And the last one that I want to say, because I don't want to go too into this, is Madara Uchiha. Yes, you have to say it exactly like that. You gotta get it in your chest and just say Madara Uchiha. I mean, what can I say? Naruto Shippuden, first appearance of Madara, and he stood on business. He is definitely known as one of the strongest Uchihas in the world of Naruto. And I'm just gonna run down the list of feats that makes this man a great villain. Alright, number 1, fighting an entire army by yourself. That's already a win in my book. Like, if you have the capacity to take on an entire army by yourself, you immediately got it. It is kind of the equivalent of Captain America, Steve Rogers, in the final act of Endgame, and Thanos' army is just right over there, and this man had nothing but a broken shield, Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and was ready to just go in holes barred against an entire army. Thankfully, he had backup. But Madara, he said, no, I don't need no backup. I got this all by myself. So that's number 1. Number 2, dropping 2 meteors on that army. That will still forever be coagulating in my mind, because you dropped the meteor, thankfully, with the one of the Kages, Angara, one of the characters in Naruto Shippuden and Naruto. They were able to stop the meteor, and Madara was like, okay, cool. You guys can handle your own. I mistook you. Quick question though. Did you think of what you was going to do about the second one above that meteor? What do you mean? What do you mean? What am I gonna do about the second one? Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? The second one? Like, he just had that second one planned? I wouldn't be surprised if, for some miraculous miracle, for some miracle blessed down by Jesus himself, if they was able to stop that meteor and Madara just had a third one right up there, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Third thing, taking on the 5 Kage all by yourself. Now, granted, the Hokage, that's the title of the leader of the village and basically the strongest ninja of your village. So the 5 Kage are basically the strongest ninjas in the entire village. Madara took them down with ease. And the craziest feat about this fight between the 5 Kages and Madara is Madara has this thing called a Susanoo. Basically, kind of like a how do I even describe a Susanoo? Like, if you have a after image version of a Gundam. That's basically the best description I can give of a Susanoo. He decided to give each Kage 5 Susanoos because obviously 5 Kages was jumping one person. So he's like, you know what? Let me do a Uno reverse card. Let me give you guys 5 Kages each. And here's actually no. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. He gave each Kage 5 clones of himself. And here's probably one of the wildest questions ever asked in any anime. This man Madara said, "Would you like these clones to use Susanoo too?" So not only that these clones probably have the same equivalent power as the original, as the OG Madara, but they can also use a Susanoo too. No, I don't want to fight that. And the last feat, actually the last 2 feats, very quick, becoming so strong that he has the literal writer of Naruto questioning, man, I really made this guy too strong. I don't know how to kill him. I don't know how to kill this dude. I guess I just gotta kill him. I gotta kill him by plot. And the last thing he did was put everybody in an infinite Tsukiyomi. What that means is, what a Tsukiyomi does is basically like another reality where things are not as real as you seem. They may seem real, but you kind of know it's not. And he put everybody in an infinite Tsukiyomi. And it actually affected us in a way in the real world, is because it was just a whole plethora of filler. What I mean by what filler is basically a bunch of just extra episodes thrown into an anime, kind of just break down some pacing time in the anime. There are a lot of animes that have filler. Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, heck, even Dragon Ball Z has some filler. Some probably good, some are beneficial to the anime, and some are not. This is no exception. It affected us. I think it was about 5 to 6 months worth of filler before they continue with the actual storyline. And it was right near the end of the storyline. So with that all being said, this is why I think Madara is a undeniably strong choice for our best anime villain. So let's be real, villains steal the whole show. Sometimes we cheer harder for the villain than we do for the hero. Why? Because villains get to challenge the system. They get to push boundaries and reveal truths that heroes can't. The best anime wouldn't be the best without their villains. And a hero is only as strong as the villain they face. So, I'm about to wrap this up. The question of the day for this episode is, who is your favorite anime villain? Type it down in the comment section below, and be sure to join the Discord so you can comment your answer as well. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Villains make the heroes shine brighter. And in anime, they're some of the most unforgettable characters at all. And who knows? Maybe in another life, Blazar himself could have been the villain. But I don't see that happening. So, next time on Anime Talk, we're going to flip the script. And instead of talking about anime villains, we're going to talk about anime heroes who define the genre. You don't want to miss it. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep updated on the show. Leave a like if you enjoyed this episode. And be sure to follow me on my Instagram, which is linked in the description in my link tree. And please be sure to join the Discord server. It is right open for you guys to chill and get to know me more. Until then, keep your fire burning bright. I'm BlazeRod, and this was another episode of Anime Talk.